Hello, my name is Tom Flax. This is Module 5, Understanding My Community, Harrington Schools. Customs and Traditions. Harrington's Railroad Community, founded by Davis Monroe Harrington. Uh, he wanted to bring the railroad to this town in Kansas, so he cut a deal and was able to make Harrington a hub for the railroad. Uh, Tri-County Free Fair, um, where Harrington's located, um, right at in the corner of Dickinson County, right next to Marion and Morris County. So that allows us to be the hub for Tri-County and Tri-County Free Fair. A lot of community involvement, especially in the schools, um, and out in the community as well. We get a lot of involvement in extracurricular and athletic events, with helping running those events or just people donating time in those uh, avenues as well. Elementary school is 7 years old. We got track facilities as well. 7 years old. Got a strong military presence, and obviously, if we're built on the railroad, I think we're a pretty blue collar town. A lot of religious groups and churches in our community. It plays a very strong role serving our youth. And I think it's very important for the community, and I think it's a very strong part of our community. And we have a strong CTSO programs here with FBLA, FCCLA, HOSA, FFA, and we've got programs there. They compete at the regional, national, or regional, state, and several kids have competed at national levels as well. Population characteristics. We've got a pretty diverse group of community members. I think there's various levels of education, anywhere from high school diploma to master's degrees, doctorates, and here in Harrington. Our enrollment, 230 in elementary, approximately 105 and 125 in 105 in middle school, 125 in the high school. We have a high percentage of free and reduced lunches here in Harrington, with 61 or 64.1%. More female than male students. Again, we're a very blue collar dominant town. And I think the community as a whole, I think, is there's a little bit of a down cycle. I think the city commission is trying to do things to clean those things up. But a lot of times negativity or things like that are self-inflicted. For example, we fired a city manager a couple months ago. It's been a very interesting process to see how that's shaken out. But there's a lot of drama that goes along with small town politics. Communication channels, school website, Facebook page, Twitter, school messaging system. Facebook page, great for positive messages. Relay any information, whether it's sports or just schedule change or any activity changes. The school messaging system is a great way, a great tool to shoot out reminders or changes to any of the parents that have students that are involved in any of the school functions. As far as families, I mean, obviously most use internet, social media to get information. It might not always be the correct information, depending on what social media avenue they're looking at, but that's how a lot of them get their information. They probably get information too from news sources as well. Newspaper, we have a Harrington Times. It's a weekly paper, and there's a lot of information that's given out through there, especially local things, school-wise, sports and activities, a lot of positive things involving our schools. um, Staff members usually communicate through email or messaging system. Um, Social media, usually is the hub for negative communication. Easy to hide behind a screen. No community groups. A lot of church groups serve our youth. Very, very positive thing in our community, and they do a very good job of helping our young kids or the young children here in town with that. Chamber of Commerce, a lot of businesses are members of the Chamber of Commerce. We have civic clubs and just local clubs and organizations that do a really good job. Work well at the school. Do a lot of uh, things with them, and they do a lot of things for the school to help out. So it's nice to work with them. The school board sets the policy, and administration as well sets the policy. The curriculum generally, what I've seen is organized and designed with the help of the teachers, and as well as the textbook purchasing. School and community work together, generally to do what's best for the students. I don't think there's any particular group that does anything to try to cause problems, for the school or the community as well. All right, so no leadership. Who are the influencing agents? Definitely for the Harrington schools, it's our superintendent, Ron Wilson. I think our principals have a lot of influence as well. We'll have 2 new principals next year, but the ones we have right now do a very good job of influencing, and carrying Mr. Wilson's message, and along with the athletic director, teachers, and coaches, and then the school board. I think those are really the school leadership. Other influencing agents, I think, like I said earlier, churches do a great job, as well as the law enforcement too. I think is a big part of our community. Students and staff and community are the persons being influenced. The positive energy, starts at the top with Mr. Wilson. Characteristics: he's got a very strong personality. Mr. Wilson does, and has a good grasp of people. He's a great communicator. Always seems to know the right thing to say and when to say it. He's a great supporter of our students and activities. Very visible. It's kids like give him high fives. He's eaten lunch with them several times. Kids really like that, especially the younger kids. They just think it's the coolest thing. Does a good job of visiting the local establishments there in town, different restaurants and things like that. He's got a wide range of connections from being in education for over 25 years. And I think the last thing, that makes him characteristic that makes him a strong leader for us is he's a great listener. He doesn't always have to say anything. He just likes to, he does a good job of just listening. Economic conditions here in Harrington. Median household income is $34,000, or a little over that. State of Kansas' average is almost $54,000. Property value in Harrington is down a little bit. It's to $60,800. The state of Kansas is over twice as much, $141,200. Manufacturing, railroad, hospital, nursing home, school are the main employers of the community, along with several other businesses, a lot of local businesses, a lot of heating air company. We got some other companies, a disc golf company, one of the largest distributors of disc golf and disc golf accessories is located in Harrington, Kansas. Political structure. Local school board does a great job putting kids first. Community understands the importance of education. Passed a bond 8 years ago or so to build a new elementary, which is really something that was needed. And also they built a sports complex that has a 8-lane track. Since I've been here, we've had hosted probably over 40 track meets in the last 5 years, along with 4 regional track meets and several league track meets as well. School Board and Teachers Association use IBB. I think it's a great thing. It eliminates a lot of hard feelings, and I think it takes politics out of the negotiations. Not a whole lot of tension, to my knowledge. I think students are very, very accepting. And if there are cliques, I'm really not aware of them. I think the one thing that we do have tension with is there's some jealousy in the school, whether it's through activities or athletics. But the athletic department is going to bring in a guest speaker next year to visit with the staff, the community, parents, and also the students. And so hopefully we can put an end to some of these issues. Extra sources of information. School website, of course, contains all the policies and procedures and all the board minutes and also the calendar, school calendar. The Harrington Times, which is the newspaper, and also the school Facebook page, and the Chamber of Commerce is a great source of information as well. Power structure. Mr. Wilson, he's kind of the head of the power structure there. School board, local business owners, vested in the community, church, and local organizations. I think local business owners are very important. We ask a lot of our business owners to help, fund different things, and they definitely have, a lot of them have a vested interest in the success and the growth of our school. Multicultural issues. I think we have a solid awareness, our staff does, about the backgrounds of students. Recently, we've had several transgender students. Not the easiest to deal with or understand, but I think that we've done a really good job to understand what the things that they're going through, and try to do our best to empathize with them. School programs, I think, do a good job of integrating culture into the school. I think we have a fair amount of Catholics, in that I know during Lent, the cafeteria, usually the cafeteria has options to eat, especially during the Fridays during Lent. The power structure. School districts follow state and board education guidelines. Then it goes to school board superintendents and principals. Down staff definitely aware of the restraints that our government has put on education. School and community, I think, is doing the best to offer the best educational experience for the kids here in Harrington. Harrington has a site council along with building and district leadership teams. I think the school board is a very diverse group that has a pretty strong understanding of public opinion. I think administration, especially our superintendent, is definitely visible and willing to sit down with any stakeholder and visit with them about ways to improve the town or improve the school. Public opinion surveys. I know this last year there was a survey to gain some ideas of making or developing a safer route to our school. So that was an interesting process, and I think we had to work with the community, the city, and work to, I think, receive a grant to help facilitate a safer route to school for the kids that ride bikes or walk to school. All right, thank you.